Welcome back. This is Jason with Ridgerunner Blades, and today we are going to talk about William Collins's knives. We have been so blessed to make a relationship with William Collins. He's out of Texas. He makes some of the best survival knives in the world, and he handcrafts them all himself. So we're really honored to carry his blade in our store. But specifically, while we carry his entire line of production knives, and when I say production, he's the one producing them. It's not like an assembly line. He's making them himself. While we're lucky enough to carry all of those, we also had him make us an exclusive design called the Triple X. The Triple X is going along the lines with our Ridgerunner mantra, the moonshiners from back in the day. We're in the mountains of Wilkes County, so moonshine is in our blood. So if you ever seen a moonshine jug in a cartoon, it's usually got 3 X's on it. So our first knife, we wanted it to be called the Triple X, and here it is. So William designed this knife, and we have just fell in love with it, especially our bushcrafters. So I'm not a bushcrafter. I enjoy the idea of it, and I think I would love to be out in the woods bushcrafting stuff, but honestly, I don't know as much as some of my friends do. So what I can appreciate about this knife is it does have a nice 90-degree spine. So if you're going to strike some flint and steel or something like that, it will cast a spark, which is pretty awesome. If you look at the blade design itself, you will see there's a Scandi portion back here. This Scandi portion is really good for like feather sticks and stuff like that, for the fine-tuned, thin cuts that you may need to make as a bushcrafter. So it's about 1.5 inches long, and then you move on up to the saber grind portion, which is about 2.5 inches long. So that gives the entire cutting portion of about 4 inches from rear to front to point. So really awesome design. A lot of Williams knives do have this typical design, but what I like about this one that I haven't seen on anything else is it's almost like a modernized tanto. If you look at the front of this, the belly sort of has a little bit of an upswept to it out near the tip, and I am a huge fan of tanto blades because they penetrate really well. Like I said, I don't know a lot about bushcrafting, but I enjoy the idea of stabbing things, and I really think this right here would stab really well. So if I wanted to make it an everyday carry for my purposes, probably still do that with no problem. One thing that I heard about William before I ever got to talking to him is that he makes some of the most comfortable grips ever in a knife. And so when I got these in my hand, I've been really impressed. This one's set up with what they call Sure Touch. So it's like micarta. It's a natural fiber, but it also is sort of impregnated with rubber. So it gives you a good solid feel whenever you grab a hold of it. But if you also look at the texture, the design, the way he shapes the handles themselves, it seems to really fit good in your hand. And I can't see where I would have a hot spot if I was to use this knife for a while. I really don't think anything's going to rub me wrong or create a blister or anything like that. So I think he earned the title of one of the best handle makers in the market. But if you look this knife over, you're going to see a couple other things. You'll see our Ridgerunner logo here. You'll see First Run here, which is really cool because our first run was only 25 knives. We do have more coming, but only the first 25 will have First Run. And then of course you'll see Williams logo right here. If you roll it over, you're going to see a born on date. This one right here was made in January of 2022, no question about it. And then the USA logo here. William uses a couple of different steels. This right here is AEBL. And I'm not a steel junkie. I don't know a whole lot about them. But what I do know is if a master blade crafter tells me that that's good steel, especially for bushcrafting, I'm probably going to take his word for it. What I do know is it has a higher chromium content than a lot of other steels. So that means while it's super hard, it's also easy to maintain an edge. How about that? It may not be easy to sharpen, but it's easy to maintain an edge, and you can do it in the field, which is really cool. William spends all his time making knives, so he doesn't spend any time making sheaths. So I really needed some sheaths for a knife, because a knife without a sheath is sort of like a pistol without a holster. What are you going to do with it whenever you need your hands, right? So William said reach out to Stitch Gear Outfitters, and Randy Smith runs that. He's in Ohio, and so William recommended me talking to him, and Randy has just amazed me with what he's got for Williams knives. He's almost like the official sheath maker for William Collins, so you'll probably see a lot of his sheaths out and about. So we chose to stock several different models for our shop blade. One of them is a 6-way. It allows you to carry this knife scout. It allows you to carry it with a dangler or through a belt. It allows you all different kinds of ways to carry this. Now, Randy is a saddle maker by trade, so everything he makes is way overbuilt, which is awesome because you sure don't want anything breaking when you're out in the field. So the 6-way is one of his most expensive designs, and that's $125. But once you get it in your hand, you're going to see why it's $125. There's about a half a cow in this one sheath. So, but I wanted to give people options. So while I had this one made, I also had another one made. It's a little bit smaller. It still allows you different configurations to carry. It has this nice kydex here on both sides, and that's to hold it in there really well, but it gives you enough handle where you can get it out relatively quickly should you need to. It does allow you to carry in like the scout or tracker position, which is horizontal across the small of the back, and it allows you to carry vertical too, just the way he's set it up. So I really like this sheath as well. And the last one is just simply a vertical sheath, which is a typical bushcrafter style sheath. The knife sits way down in it, so you don't have to worry about losing it. Randy marks everything with his logo. He double stitches everything. Everything's just really awesomely built when it comes to stitch gear. They're really awesome stuff. So we have a few of these left in the shop, and we do have more coming, but the few we have left right now are still first run series. So overall length, 9 inches. Cutting surface is going to be about 4 inches. So if you think this is something you may want to add to your collection or actually use it out in the field, look us up. Ridgerunner Blades. Thanks for tuning in.